Hello, YouTube. This is Huck 4014, Huck Huckathy. Here it is 2242, August 28th, 2024. Today I am going to start a new video series. I'm going to call it the Zoomer Man Mindset. This is video one. This is more of an introduction to the whole concept of this series, just kind of a pilot episode, so to call. And I'm going to talk about different issues. In some ways, we can deal with them. This is more geared towards the Zoomers. Zoomers are born from the years 1997 through 2012. So most of us are adults, pretty much all of us, or at least in our teens to adults. And we as men, as young men, need to start taking a look at the issues we face and really figuring out how it is we're going to deal with these issues. And I know a lot of people are experiencing issues in society today, especially males and women alike. But as a man, I'm going to kind of speak more towards the males and things that I do and things that I think more people should be doing to address these issues. So, kind of start off problems we face. We're looking at potential economic collapse. We're looking at dating crises, birthing crisis. No one's getting married, marriage crisis. We're looking at potential civil war. We're looking at potential World War III. We're looking at famines. We're looking at just society just falling apart at its seams. The world that we grew up in the 2000s and the 2010s is just it's just fading from us. It's just falling through our fingers. Everything we were told in school about getting good grades, going to college, getting a good job, doing all these things, it seems almost like it's unattainable for a lot of us. And realistically, it kind of is unattainable unless we kind of pull ourselves together and work together. And a lot of that kind of comes off of, making friends and having a good friend group. That's something that's big. And I know it's hard to do. The best way to do that, though, is, if you have friends, actually invite them to do stuff and be willing to go do stuff. That's a big thing. I mean, a lot of Zoomer males, like we could definitely benefit from having time with the boys and not just going out drinking or clubbing or something lame, but actually, like, going to the gym together and going shooting rifles together, going and training together, doing whatever. That's definitely, I would say, a good place to start. The only thing I want to talk about mostly, though, is a lot of issues I see, though, with Zoomers. Man, there's so many of us that are unemployed, so many of us that are financial burdens, and I think that is completely unacceptable. I think we should be doing better as a generation, as males, as men, to stop being financial burdens and start being financial assets to our families and being the providers. Excuse me, I have a cough. I'm dying. Be we're as men, we're providers and protectors. So first off, if you're not even being a provider, what are you doing? If you're just a financial burden on your family, that's unacceptable. And I get it. You feel like you work and work and work and nothing comes from it. But at the same time, we can't just be burdens, because if we're not working, someone else is for us. And that is not the way we should be. We should be taking accountability for ourselves and taking accountability for our own finances, paying our way, doing what we need to do for our own survival, instead of just letting mommy and daddy take care of you. Because I see too many of the generation that raised us. I mean, like the boomers that raised them, they have all this money, and some families are different than others. I get it, but I see a lot too much. At least a lot of people I've seen, they get spoiled and they don't work, and they should work, and they should start paying rent. They should start paying for their food, and It's a bigger problem than I think a lot of people really realize in my generation, just how completely lazy, honestly. It's a complete laziness. And, on that topic too, the training aspect, the physical fitness aspect of being the provider and being the protector. If you're physically fit, if you have good cardio, you're strong, that's going to help you out when you're trying to find a job, especially a laborious job, which if you can see the grease on my face from me working my laborious job, that involves working on things that are very greasy, and it takes a bit of stamina and strength to do that kind of stuff. Going to the gym or just working out in your living room or wherever you want to work out, it's going to give you a lot better time. You're going to feel better. You're going to perform better in any kind of physical occupation. And let's face it, right? I don't have a college education. I have a high school education. I never wanted to go to college. Ever since I was a kid, I thought the idea of college was just bizarre. I would watch Dirty Jobs Mike Rowe and go, well, why would I go to college when the Dirty Jobs guy is looking at all these jobs where they literally just do something else, physical labor, and they still are making a life for themselves? Well, I kind of never saw the point of college, so I never went to college. It didn't make sense to me. There's nothing I really wanted to do in that realm, getting a degree. So I just worked the job I wanted to work after high school, and that's essentially what I did. And uh, a lot of it, it just comes down to what it is you want to do and what you expect out of life. If you want to go to college, absolutely. Get the best degree you can for whatever it is you want to do, and you do it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you got to choose your own path. You can't let other people choose it for you. And I feel like that was a big issue with us growing up, is the school system would teach us that we have to go to college, and it's just not true. Uh, Another aspect of that is the training aspect. Firearms, different tactics, fighting hand to hand, you name it. Us as men need to step up and be the better, be better than we are, the best we can be, right? The providers and protectors that we should be. And honestly, you look at through all human history, men's role in society as a provider and a protector is kind of their main job there, really. That's kind of what a man is kind of supposed to do, really. Uh, I personally, I do a lot of firearms training. I do a lot of small unit tactics training, all sorts of different tactics and guerrilla warfare type stuff. You've probably seen me on other YouTube channels, and you've probably seen me on other social media platforms where I do lots of stuff, and I continue to do it, and I will never stop doing that because it's it's not something I necessarily enjoy doing as much as just a passion, because I believe it's the right thing to do. And I think more people should kind of get their foot in the door, whether it is, just simply taking a CCW class or taking a Taekwondo class or a Jiu-Jitsu class, just small baby steps. If you own firearms and you don't have training with those firearms, you should seriously consider doing that. You should seriously consider getting formal training, and don't be stagnant. Don't just go, oh well, I took a class doing concealed carry, so I know everything there's. No, you just keep always ascend to the higher levels. Same thing with martial arts. That is not my strong suit. I'm not. If you try to fight me, I'm strong and I'm athletic, but I have no technique. So if you have any bit of technique more than me, that's something I need to work on. And sure enough, I need to get in and do more of that. And that's something that I could definitely work on, is the martial arts aspect of things. But, again, you can't just take one martial arts class and say, I'm the champion. No, it's something you're always getting better at. Same thing with weightlifting, same thing with cardio. If you're a swimmer, if you're a runner, if you're a biker, you're always ascending to that next level, and you never stay stagnant. You never settle for being stagnant, especially when it comes to physical fitness, when it comes to your training, your proficiency with firearms, because that's it's one thing, right? You can budget out your money. You could work a job. You could budget out your money, and you could get, okay, cool. I make this much money, so I could spend this much money. Cool, that makes sense. Everything's even. Checks are balanced, what have you. When it comes to something like being a protector, though, you can't budget because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when or how or what's ever going to happen. You can only kind of speculate. You can look at patterns through history, like I was talking about earlier. My generation potentially could be facing a lot of conflict in America, in Europe, and a lot of places in the Middle East. I'm sure that, people in all of those regions are concerned and have their own concerns, and nobody knows really what's going to happen. So when it comes to the training aspect and being a protector, you really have to be the highest level, the most proficient you possibly can, because you don't know what's going to happen. All right, let me look at my notes. Cool. Eat healthy. Another thing I want to talk about is eating healthy. That's part of the physical fitness. That's going to make you perform better at your job. You're going to have a clearer mind. And along with eating healthy, getting enough sleep too. Sleep is important. Here's going to be a bad one. Stop playing video games. I don't know why. I don't know for a single reason why my generation is so just consumed by social media, video games, and porn. I don't get it. Like, just put the fucking phone down. Stop watching this YouTube video. Why are you even watching? Like, come on, guys. The amount of video games I see people consume, and this is really the issue, is video games have gotten to the point where they're almost like simulations, where you have all these different simulators, you have all these free roam games. And I get it. My favorite free roam game is Mario 64. I love the shit. I will get intoxicated and play Mario 64 for hours, for probably days on end. But I put a limit on it, and I don't play video games really much at all. It's every couple of weeks, maybe. Maybe I go on a streak and play video games for a couple days in a row. But that's after I worked my 9-to-5 job, plus overtime. And then I went to the gym and lifted for an hour and ate some food that was maybe healthy, maybe not healthy, because I like Taco Bell. And then maybe I sit down and play some video games in the afternoon before I go to bed, or in the evening before I go to bed. And that's perfectly fine. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to relax. Some people like to watch TV, some people like to watch YouTube videos, some people like to play video games, and that's fine. But you shouldn't live your entire life based around video games in your mom's basement. That's quite pathetic. That's really pathetic, actually. I see no honor, no reason. There's no point to life. Like, what are you doing to live? Your life is video games. What happens when your family starts dying off? You don't have mommy's basement to live in. What then? You don't know what you're doing. There's no reason why you should be wasting your youth when you should be strengthening your mind and your body and absorbing as much information, as much skills, trades, whatever it is, college that you want to aspire to become better at. There's no reason you should be wasting it just playing video games. And, like I said, I get it. Some of us like to relax, but we really do need to, as Zoomer men, if you want to call yourself a Zoomer man, which honestly, I think Zoomer man kind of sounds like an oxymoron in a way, but I'm a Zoomer. I'm 24 years old. I'm a middle-aged, 20-year-old, mid-20s, middle 20-year-old, 24 years old. I'm kind of in the middle-ish of the Zoomer era, a little bit early on in the Zoomer. So I'm a little bit older when it comes to the Zoomers, just by a little bit. And, sure, maybe I don't have everything figured out. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I have everything figured out. But based off of what I see around me and the kind of man I want to be and the kind of men I want to see around me, I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of lazy, depressed, addicted to substances, alcohol, porn, weed, video games, addicted to anything. I don't like seeing that. Addicted to junk food, that's also a big deal. I literally just ate a Snickers bar before this video, so yeah, again, I'm not perfect. But I don't want to be surrounded by that type of people. I want to see my generation kind of become the men that they need to be for our society to really prevail. Because let's face it, the things are not looking good in Western society. There's so many conflicts, as I was talking about, or potential conflicts. There's so much, issues that I think if it really starts with the individual. As an individual, you become the strongest man you can be, and maybe you find a good strong woman, and then that's just, you build a family, right? And strong people create strong families create strong communities create strong countries. And that's really the only way we're ever going to be able to fucking make anything work. The way it's going right now, nobody has skill, nobody has ambition, no one has drive, no one seems to care. And, you got to pull yourself out of it. You got to sit down and really, really think about what it is that you're doing and how things that you do now or lack thereof affect the people around you. And you really got to make that decision. Is your selfishness really worth it? Because honestly, it's not about anyone. It's not about just me or my feelings. It's not about you or your feelings. It's about becoming the men that society needs. The Zoomer man needs to step up. And everything I talk in this video, that's a start, but I will make more videos on this topic, more specific videos maybe. Maybe I talk about how to save money, which I'm not the best at. I'm not really the best at anything, honestly. I'm just a guy who just likes to talk, and I don't know why you're still listening. I'll make more videos. If you guys have any comments on what kind of videos, more topics, I'll make like a whole playlist. I'll call it the Zoomer Man Mindset, and we'll go from there. We'll start making videos. Or maybe no one ever watches this video ever. No one comments on it, and I never make another video again, and I just go along with my life living the way I know I should. Regardless, it's a good talk, and I will see you in the next one. Or maybe not. Maybe I don't see you ever again. Who knows? Bye.